And let's get started. How about it, y'all? Are you ready for this?
Good.
Yes, yes.
See, only a slight train wreck. This is a good thing. Welcome. We welcome
derailment.
slight, yes. Y'all, this is really exciting for me. I'm so thrilled about this because what we're doing here is it's recalculating route. First of all, not only because that is the thing I heard most from my GPS for years and years until it finally just lost its voice, but also because this is kind of a cool time for us to be thinking about things that we can change, how we can make our lives different, how we can change the route and try something that we've never tried before. And so that's why I have these awesome guests with me today, because they're all trying something new. They're at different stages of going through changes and trying things. And I wanted them to share some of the stuff that they're doing in hopes that it might just, inspire you to try some of this stuff, or one of those dreams that you've been thinking about forever. So I want to get started. I'm going to start with my Sensei sisters. Priscilla and Tina are on here. So Priscilla, how about introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit.
Hi, everybody. I'm Priscilla Babin, and my sister, Tina, the reddish head who's waving, is my sister. And we are the Sensei Sisters. That's how we open our little shows that we do. We do a video every Wednesday on Facebook. We have a Facebook page called the Sensei Sisters if you want to check us out. And the way we got started is in May of last year, we were both struggling. We were both dealing with a lot of stuff going on in our personal lives that was stressful and hard. And we were struggling to find our niche and promote ourselves and our businesses individually, each of us. And Tina's husband, who's very wise, he's our wise man. He's our sensei brother. Not Tina's brother. That would be weird. Don't get me started. So he suggested that we should start getting together on a regular basis for a sort of a sister therapy session, so we'd have somebody to talk to, because we were both struggling individually and we saw each other, but we'd always be with the rest of the family. And he said, you should get together alone, and so we started going to breakfast once a week. And almost the very first time we did it, something sparked in us that we wanted to help other people, do what we were trying to do for ourselves and grow personally and, tackle all 5 areas of personal growth and, and try and help people in all of those. Tina, you want to tell them what those areas are?
Yes, you guys might know the 5 areas of personal growth as physical, intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and social. But we refer to them as the 5 H's: health, head, holiness, heart, and harmony. And so each week when we meet on Facebook, we talk about one of those areas, and we try to help women especially, but anybody who's so busy taking care of everybody else that they're not doing for themselves. And so we always tag our little shows with make yourself a priority, take care of you. And so that's what we're all about. And we love alliteration, by the way, so that's why we went with 5 H's.
With the H's, okay, good. I was scared. The last one when you were going to harmony, I was going, please, not hormones. No. Sorry. That's so cool. I love that. And so you're sharing what you're doing for each other with other people, and they're getting the benefit of it. And y'all keep building this following, and it's very cool to see. Love that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love that.
It makes you feel good, and that's what I'm kind of hoping to build my own little thing like that. I want to be like them when I grow up. So now Kaelysia Cooper, you are doing some cool stuff.
Hello, everyone. So I'm here as the founder of Empowered Coaching, and it is a individual coaching organization for people or teams that are looking to make a change in some way. So you may be looking for a change in your career. You could be looking for a change personally, or maybe you're looking for a change within your team or your relationships. And so what I do in coaching It's actually either one-on-one with individuals or in group coaching with teams. And we coach you together. So me and the clients working toward whatever your future state looks like. So for some people, they're looking for better blank, whatever that blank is for them. And we spend some time really trying to build awareness and trying to guide them toward that change. What I love about coaching is it's not anything that I have to tell you what to do, but it really empowers the client to really dig deep and discover what their potential is themselves. And so it's amazing to be able to work with someone and get to see that light bulb go off of all of the resources that they have, all the skill sets that they have, all the knowledge and abilities that they have within themselves. And it's not anything that I did to tell them what it is they need to do, but they were able to discover that they really have the answers within themselves.
I love that. It's like you had the red shoes all along. But we needed somebody to tell us how to use them, right?
Yeah, there's a really great quote. It says that, people are always looking for a magic wand until they discover that they are the magic wand. And so that's what happens in coaching.
That I like that much better than my plan of waiting for the lottery to win, and then forgetting to buy tickets. So I love that, Kaelysia. I think that's really great because you are wonderful at coaching. I've really enjoyed working with you on different things. I mean, she's able to tell me that I'm being obnoxious in a way where I feel really good about myself. So I think that's kind of nice.
You got a lot of practice in teaching training, so this just seems like the next thing to do.
I love it. I love it. And Cheli,
that's awesome.
Yes, Cheli. I love what you've done. Did you just turn yourself off? Now, you cannot get away that easily, Cheli. You have to come back.
I don't understand. I'm having, my computer is rebelling against me or something.
Well, how dare it. Cheli, I love the stuff you're doing right now.
Well, thanks. Thanks for including me on this. My little project, it really is little, but it still can be impactful no matter how little. I was up in the middle of the night one night because in my mid-50s, I have a mosquito in my house. In my mid-50s, I developed a poison ivy allergy. So I was up one night with serious itching and playing on Facebook, because what else do you do at 2 o'clock in the morning? And I saw a couple of people on some different Facebook groups talking about that they were having problems and that they didn't have people who were good listeners that they could reach out to. And like Tina, you and Priscilla were talking about you meet with each other regularly, and that reminded me, remember the old Crocodile Dundee line, why do you need a shrink? Don't you have any mates? Remember that? I have some old friends that we talk to each other and we call each other our therapists. And when I was reading some of these stories about people who didn't have somebody like that, it kind of, it broke my heart because everybody needs somebody to talk to. So I just really easily started this Facebook group called Lean On Me. And anytime I see anybody's message like that, where somebody's going through a hard time, I invite them to join and they can tell their story. And the people who are part of the group are very supportive. We're the rules say we can't be judgmental, but the people who are part of it aren't that kind of person anyway. And they get a chance to talk, and people share supportive, inspirational memes and good positive words. And I've gotten a couple of pieces of feedback that it's helped some. So even though it's small, if it helps one person, then I say that's a good thing.
They all start small. That's the thing. And that's so cool. I love the whole concept of it, and the whole Lean On Me. It just feels good to know that for those people, especially at this time when we're so isolated from each other, that there is some place that they can go and talk to somebody. And sometimes we just need that. So I think it's an awesome thing you're doing. I love it.
I think it's a good thing too. Thank you.
Cool. Well, this is so neat. Now, see, we have this awesome group of people here. I had all these questions, and now I'm just like, I just want to talk, So basically, I did want to kind of get a feel from y'all of what was it? What happened that made you say, I got to do something different. I got to try something totally new or make a change in my life. anybody want to raise a hand and give me an idea? What sort of things made you decide to do something totally different from anything you'd done before?
Well, I'll start off.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kaelysia.
So it was actually this summer while I was in the study of learning how to develop coaching skills. And in the midst of doing that, you are actually being coached by your peers and by others. And so really recognizing the impact that coaching had on me, I thought, how powerful could this be if this is something that I could do for other people? And so, I start to ask around, and I'm realizing that one, there are a lot of people who don't even know what coaching is, let alone knowing enough to know that they could work with a coach toward their goals. And so I'm really trying to fill that gap for those who are at various stages of life, and recognizing that that's something that has impacted me and has supported me. The reason that I decided on this business is through coaching that I got from peers. And so I'm thinking, if this is what can come from my experience in coaching, what could come from someone else having the same experience?
What a cool thought to think that you might be setting that in motion for somebody else.
Yeah, trying to pay it forward.
Uh-huh.
I love that. A lot of people, what you're doing is important because you said you're not making changes, but you're helping them dig out what they can't dig out on their own.
Exactly.
So you're asking them the right questions and supporting them to get to what they need to know.
That's right, Cheli. And just like you said, so many people just need someone to talk to. And I find that in many of my clients, they just haven't really had the chance to think or process out, or to just bounce an idea off someone, or just to talk to someone about it. And so I can be that sounding board, but we're also working toward a goal or an outcome.
I love that. That's great.
Perfect. I love it.
And Tina, you were going to add something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Priscilla and I, the Sensei Sisters venture, we just started a couple of years, well, not even 2 years ago yet. It's been a little over a year. But each of us had that situation in our lives where Priscilla was raising her beautiful family, and I was a working mom, working for an engineering firm, doing a job that I was good at, technical writing, but hated. And I was miserable most of the time, and I had a very stressful job because one project would end, and if another one didn't start up right away, it was constantly talk of layoffs. And so it was very stressful, and I wanted to get out of that life. And I actually went and did a certification with John Maxwell to train and speak and be a coach for John Maxwell. And it changed my life enough to know that there was an opportunity out there. And it made me realize that adding value to other people was more important than just thinking about myself all the time. And I wanted those opportunities, and I was not finding them in the corporate world. And so I walked away from a huge income and said, I'm happier now because of it. And that's the way it is. You actually stole our line, Christy. We were, Priscilla and I were talking this morning about the questions that you sent, and you said about what advice would you have for someone? And we both said, start small, because when we started meeting for breakfast on Wednesday mornings, and then a few weeks in decided that we were going to start the Sensei Sisters page, we had no idea that we would get a following at all, much less a few hundred people. And so we're thankful for that few hundred. If all would engage, it would be even more amazing. But we can't focus on the big numbers. We have to focus on the little numbers. And Priscilla said something this morning. Do you remember what you said, Priscilla, or should I share it?
Which thing?
She said so many of them, she can't remember.
She said so many smart things all the time. But what she said was that it's all about the process and how rewarding the process is. It's not always about the results. It's about the process. And I love that.
Yeah. The journey, the everything. I love Mariah just said small wins go a long way.
Yes.
It's so true.
Very true.
Kimberly answered the same way. So true. It's really we start small, and that's the thing. It's so great because we can make a difference in one person's life. isn't that where we're trying to start? I mean, anybody that we help, we're doing something good. We're getting something started that we never know how far it goes.
And not only are we helping them, but I get much more back. And I'm sure you would say the same thing. If we help one person, we get twice as much joy than we could have provided.
My gosh, right? Isn't that true? Isn't that the most wonderful feeling? Well, you know, hey, when we're talking about the lessons, let's go on with the lessons for a second here. Y'all give me some ideas of lessons that you've learned as you're going through this process, and things that have been important to you as you're trying to do something to make a difference in the world. Yeah, Cheli?
I'll start. Mine's very small, but it's just reiterating what we're basically already saying, that it doesn't take much to make a huge difference. You know, in my case with this small Facebook group, if one person reaches out, because we don't know what people's circumstances are, somebody could be at the end of their rope when they're reaching out, and maybe somebody just says the right thing to give them another way of looking at life, you know, and then we don't know what impact that has from the domino effect, all from just making one little group of people who have this connection to try to support each other. It doesn't take a big effort to make a big difference. Same basic message.
I love that. Ooh, sirens. I don't know if y'all hear that. My neighborhood. But it's true. It's like, you know, you start with that little bitty thing, you start doing something and you want to see where it goes. We'll never see where it ends. You know, we never get a chance to do that. We have to be willing to just say, I sent something good out into the world and I hope something comes from it.
Right.
And that's the hard part sometimes, because you want to see instant, oh, everybody's happy because of me. And that doesn't happen that way all the time, you know? I mean, it would be really nice if it worked that way.
Yeah.
Priscilla, what about you? What do you think?
Hey. Go ahead, what you can say.
I was just going to say, what's something that you would share with people who are thinking about trying something?
Oh, gosh. Well, we did a whole segment on Sensei Sisters on You're Never Too Old to Start Something New. And we featured my brilliant brother-in-law, AJ, on that, too. Is he back there getting his kicks off of us talking about him? He just graduated from college with his bachelor's degree, right?
Congratulations.
And that was, well, it's been a few months, and he's an older gentleman. I don't know if he,
wow,
there you go.
That's awesome.
You're never too old. Don't count yourself out. I didn't start. I'm a Zumba instructor by trade, and as a younger person, if you told me I was going to end up working in fitness, I would have laughed in your face. So I didn't start teaching Zumba till I was almost 40 years old. I'm 47 now. I've been teaching for 8.5 years. And I would never want to do anything else except for Sensei Sisters. So
wow.
It's just, I didn't know that was going to be, you know, what gave me joy. And it does. So I'm sticking with that.
I love it.
So you got to find it. Doesn't matter how old you are.
And, you know, it's one of those things that we really have to be willing to keep our eyes open, because sometimes it's like the universe is sending us signs and we're ignoring them, you know? There's these things out there saying that, you know, if I'm feeling sick every day that I'm going to work, maybe I'm not in the right field, you know? If I spend so much time thinking about myself and worrying about myself, maybe that's a sign that I need to turn that energy to worrying about other people and helping others. You know, there's all these little things that we see that we really do need to kind of keep an eye open and see what the universe is trying to tell us. Okay, something else. Okay, y'all jump in here. Anything that y'all want to join? Kaelysia, you want to say something? I can tell.
Yeah, I'll add. So my lesson learned is to embrace mistakes. So if anyone knows me, you know I am a perfectionist. I like to have a plan, and I like for everything to work out as it's supposed to. But with starting this, so yeah, Priscilla, you know, so with starting this business, I have had to embrace so many mistakes, which used to be a fear of mine, but now I've gone through so many that it's just kind of like a part of the process, which, you know, we've been talking about. And so with those mistakes, I have learned so much. I mean, I've learned so much about posting on social media and creating content, and I've done things wrong, and I mean, but it just kind of, now I just kind of roll with it, whereas before it would have been the end of the world for me. But taking the time to actually say, okay, I know I'm not going to be an expert in social media. I'm not a social media influencer. So take this as an opportunity to see what I can learn from it, and just try to do my best to be better the next time I post a content, or next time I do something else on social media. So it really has been humbling, and it's been very freeing to know that I don't have to be perfect with everything. You know, with this, you know, in my job, it still feels like, you know, you have to perform, you have to be on, and, you know, you have to do things a certain way. But you know, with something that's my own, I'm giving myself, you know, that grace and that ability to make mistakes and then learn from them and then move on, or maybe teach someone else, you know, what I've learned from making those mistakes.
I love that. If we're not making mistakes, we're not growing.
Well,
absolutely.
If we already know everything, then we're stagnant.
Stunting my growth this whole time, you know, in fear of making those mistakes, but I'm not falling as hard as I thought I would be.
You woke up the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm dropping a question there into the chat too, asking others, what is their big audacious goal? You know, that's something that you dream of trying, that you think about. You know, the world has become more at our fingertips now than ever before, because everything is like right here. You know, we can communicate with people in ways we never have before. We have the opportunity to communicate with people across, you know, continents, and so our world gets a lot bigger. It gives us a lot of chances to try things we never would have thought of before. And I'd like to know what some of the things, you know, like with y'all, the things you're working on right now, okay? Even if they're starting small, what is your big goal? What would you like to see it turn into someday? Would it be, you know, a show that you're doing? Would it be that you have this group of people that you're training to coach others? What would it be? I'm trying to get y'all to think big. And Kim, I love failing forward. Yeah, and Mariah, yes, y'all are. Yeah. We got some great talk going on, and we have some great talk going on in the chat here. That's nice. Mm-hmm.
I like that too.
Priscilla was saying this morning that some people have there's an actual medical condition that keeps people from being able to see in their head, to visualize something that they're trying to achieve. There's actually a word for it. We looked it up. But Priscilla does an excellent job of visualizing the big audacious goal for the Sensei Sisters. And we have actually just talked about this image so much. Priscilla, you explain it.
Please.
Well, I actually had this whole fantasy going.
This is G-rated, right? This is okay to talk about?
We had a house. We were able to get a house that was like a 2-story house. It was big, and it was like on a corner and had parking, because that's important here in New Orleans area. Parking is important. And but we had like rooms that were dedicated to different things that we could use, you know, to utilize the thing, you know, our strengths and stuff. Like we'd have a Zumba room, and we'd have a room for presentations, and we'd have a little sitting area where we'd have a coffee maker, and people could just sit and have coffee and, you know, and chill.
Have a writing room.
Right. And we were going to call it the 5H Club. And we were going to, you know, and we'd have, you know, a couple little offices if people wanted to do like a little session where they just chatted with us one-on-one, you know. And
tutoring for kids at school.
I love this. I love it. This is too good.
We were hoping for Ellen DeGeneres to come in and, you know, give us a house, but hasn't happened.
Hadn't happened yet. Give her time. She's a New Orleans girl, you know.
Right.
Well, I love that. You know, that's that whole concept behind the vision board. You know, you got to be able to visualize it. You got to see it before you can attract or anything like that. So you've really got it well visualized. That's kind of cool. I really like that a lot.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Monica, you may not take over the world. I'm sorry, that cannot be your big audacious goal. Sorry, the chat just keeps catching my eye. I love this. Okay, these are good. You know, it's interesting that a lot of us have like training in our backgrounds, and a number of our people who are in the audience also have training in their backgrounds. We know, and I think that what y'all are doing right now is a natural extension of that. We get into the classroom, we start teaching people things, and we're teaching them really good, important skills and things like that. But we realize also that if I could talk to them about other things, I could make a bigger difference in their lives. You know, if I could just get them talking and get two-way conversation and talk about things that really, really matter to them, I could help these people. I could make a difference. And I think that sounds like what all of y'all have moved towards.
Yes, or give other people a platform to make a difference. You know, in my case, I'd love to think that I might touch somebody's life, but if my little platform helps connect to other people, then that's just as good. You know, I don't have all the right words to say, but maybe on a given day, somebody else does have the right words to say.
That's something I love about your group, by the way, Cheli, is that it doesn't all have to be you. It starts building up. Other people I see start posting things in there, and they're trying to encourage each other. And all of a sudden you've realized that you've created something bigger than you.
Right. Yeah. All I did was set up the group. Everybody is a part of it. It's not about me, you know, and I love that.
I love
everybody can contribute. You know, one day I'm going to be down. The next day I'm going to be up. We've got to help each other when we take turns being down.
That's what y'all are doing. This is, by the way, Lori just mentioned that she wants to learn Spanish and help people as an interpreter. I think that would be such a cool thing to do.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't that be? Cool. Especially now. I mean, isn't that the second language in the United States now? The second big. People need help. We need to be able to communicate with each other. Something like that would be an incredible goal to have.
It would be.
So, y'all are inspiring me.
Cheli, you mentioned that, you know, it doesn't have to be you. And I mean, when I think about my business, I mean, I'm really expecting it to be my clients, to be the ones that are going out there changing the world. So I'm hoping, you know, in my big audacious goal that I can have a conversation with someone, 45-minute conversation, but in that conversation, they decide to do something that will have a positive impact on someone else or their community, or even, you know, as a citizen of, you know, this country. And so whatever that thing happens to be, because everyone's goal and outcome is different, I believe in the power of having that conversation to impact that type of change.
Yes, and it's a domino effect. You help them discover their purpose, and then who knows who they touch after that. You know?
Exactly. Yep. Maybe
I love that.
Put myself out of a job because they're coaching one another or impacting change, and we'll all live in a better world.
What a nice problem that would be, huh? Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Okay. All right, now. I want y'all just to have some fun with this. Now y'all given some people some really good ideas. You've shared with them some ideas of the things that you've done, and given them ideas of things that they should be thinking about, maybe building, you know, and growing. And what is something else that you would like to share with people? Just one of your favorite sayings, silliness, anything that you would like to share to throw to us. I'm not going to throw questions at you. I'm going to let you come up with something that you would like to share with us to either make us smile, make us think, etc. And I know that's throwing a lot on y'all. I didn't have on the list of questions that I said I was going to ask you, but hey, I'm just mean like that, okay? So I want y'all to share something with us. Who wants to get us started? I see.
I will.
All right, do it, Cheli.
And it's what everybody's already thinking. I'm just going to state the obvious. A lot of times people think, I would say all of us in this room, myself, but I would think you would probably feel the same way. A lot of people have thoughts of things they might want to do, but they don't do it. Either it's not the right time, or it wouldn't work out, or I'm already too busy, or some reason not to do it. just do it, you know, and if it works out that it's not a long-term thing, then it wasn't meant to be a long-term thing, but at least you'll know, and maybe it turns into be something great. Just do it.
That's great.
Powerful. I'll tag on to that because what I was thinking was almost the exact same thing. And that is, there's a quote by a Harvard psychiatrist, Jerome Bruner. He says, you are more likely to act yourself into a feeling than to feel yourself into an action. It's my family's favorite quote. My husband says it changed his life because he was in a class that I did and I said that quote and he kept thinking about it. You're more likely to act yourself into a feeling than to feel yourself into an action. People wait. They say, oh, I'm going to go on a diet when I'm psyched up about it and I'm ready for it. And they don't do it because they keep waiting for the feeling to follow. And you can't wait for the feeling. The feeling doesn't come until you get started. And so act yourself into a feeling and just do what it is that you want to do.
Along that line, I always say, you cannot wait for all the traffic lights to be green to start your journey towards California. You know, it's just, that's the way. So yeah, I like that.
I like that quote.
Hey, y'all, this is deep stuff. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. Okay, what else? Priscilla, Kaelysia, the pressure's on. They've started it out like that. I was going to let y'all be silly, but you know, y'all can.
No, I'll just say, so I'm going to go on more of a guilting route, but we all have a purpose and we all have a gift. And whether you know it or not, or believe it or not, you know, I truly believe that we all have a gift to do something that is much greater than ourselves. And so, you know, I just challenge you to think about those who are in your community or those who you could directly be impacting, and how they are less off for you not using your gift or for you not going and fulfilling that purpose. But many of us know what it is we need to do. It's something that we constantly think about, or it's something we are constantly telling other people about or talking about, or something that we just do unconsciously without even really thinking about it. And, you know, how selfish is it of you to hold that gift all to yourself and to not do something about it, to not share that with others. So I encourage and challenge everyone to, you know, to use that gift, to discover it, to, you know, learn more about it, and then to actually act on it.
Yeah, you guilted me. It was a good guilting. That worked.
And I want to add one thing to that, if I can. A lot of people don't recognize the gifts they have. We don't have to be a brain surgeon to be able to help people. Mm-hmm. You know, the gift of a smile to somebody who's having a rotten day, the gift of listening to somebody who needs to talk, those are important. A lot of people don't think they have anything to give.
Right.
You know, it doesn't take a lot. So, yeah, I just wanted to tag on to that, Kaelysia's words.
Yeah, they're looking for that big impact, that big change. And
right.
Like I said, it's not always like that.
It doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Nice.
I would add one of the things that always sticks in my head. My mother always told me when I was a kid, because I was very shy, and I'd want things, and I'd want to do things and want to be part of things, but I would hold back, and I wouldn't talk, and I wouldn't speak up. And she would say to me, "It never hurts to ask. If you don't ask, you won't. The answer is no. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to ask. You have to enter the field, you know, or nothing's going to happen. So don't be timid. And that goes along with your guilting. And the other thought that I had comes from when I was very young. For some reason, I took it upon myself to read Candide by Voltaire, which is kind of heavy.
She was a weird kid. Yeah.
I believe it.
Kid. And I had to read a few, you know, I'd have to go back and read stuff again because I didn't quite get it. And my mom kind of helped me, because I'd go to her and I'd say, what the heck do they mean by this? And one of my favorite things from that, besides the one character losing one of their buttocks, which was interesting, was the doctor kept telling Candide that he had to cultivate his garden. And meaning that if he didn't use what he had, if you don't use it, you lose it and it goes to waste, which goes along with the guilting too. So, so that's the combo. Those are the two things that are always sort of floating around in my head. And I need to act myself into that feeling, because I am sort of an introvert, and I'm sort of a quiet person until you get me in front of a group of people. But in a crowd, if we were in a party together right now, I'd probably be really quiet.
You have to have a purpose, huh? You need some.
I'm an introvert, I guess.
Yes, I understand that. Wow. Okay. This is cool stuff, y'all. That's, and honestly, we think sometimes that the things we're doing, oh, it's just small, it doesn't matter, or this is something I don't want to be doing. It's amazing how all the things that we do in our lives lead us in a direction. It may take us a really roundabout way, but it leads us to something that's important that we're supposed to be doing. And it's funny because I'm getting to use a lot of skills from a lot of different things that I thought, oh, I was terrible at this job. I did television for a while and realized I had a face made for radio. I did radio for a while and realized, that I just couldn't sit there long enough. But all these different things, but little bits and pieces from every one of those careers has gone into starting to create my own little thing here. And that's what this even came from. It was like, hey, that'd be fun. Get people together, talk to people, and let people find out, how other people are doing things that are working for them. And that's kind of exciting to see. And it's exciting to be around people like this.
It is exciting. And I think what Priscilla said too, a lot of times it's scary to reach out and do something new.
Oh, yeah.
That I was kind of quiet and shy when I was younger too, Priscilla. I didn't read Voltaire though. I'm going to tell you right now. I didn't do that. But yeah, looking back, I wish that I could have been a little bit more outgoing earlier, because I'm sure I missed some stuff. Now, I know my history made me who I am now, but what's the worst thing that's going to happen if you step out and do something new and different? The world's not going to cave in, but it's still scary. It's scary.
I'm sitting here with a show that was supposed to be on Facebook right now. And I'm not considering that a failure that I didn't get onto Facebook. Still looking at unable to stream video. That's okay. I can live with that because we'll get it on there. But
I think about a lot of the children, so I am inspired by youth entrepreneurs, kids who go out there, like under 10 years old and are starting their own businesses just off of an idea and passion. And I remember, being that age and having that drive and having that determination and the courage to want to say, I'm going to do this and fully believe in it. And I think about the kids who are able to, create great things or, start great businesses being a young age. And I think about so many people I know who are adults now and have more resources than a child does, has more knowledge than a child does, but is, holding themselves back from doing something equally great than what someone who, is much younger than them is doing. So it's like, you really have nothing that is stopping you from being great or being successful, except for yourself sometimes.
That's a really good point. It's funny. In some ways, I feel like right now I'm trying to learn how to be like I was as a kid, because I was much more open to things. I started the first ecology club in central Louisiana back in the 70s. It was a big deal, and that was I was into everything like that. And I want to do some spelunking and find that person in me again. And that's what part of this is about. Because you think about the stuff, some of the stuff you did, even if you did it by yourself, there was a you that was really unique back then, because the world hadn't told you how you were supposed to be.
Exactly.
And I think part of our life is trying to get back to 5-year-old us.
I'm being able to kind of see that in my daughter. So she's 7, and there's so much of me that's in her. And I'm like, that used to be me. That, why can't it be me right now? Who's to say I can't laugh as much as a child does, or play as much as she does, or, say I'm going to do amazing things and then actually do them. And she does that exact thing with all the courage and conviction that she has in 7 years of life.
I love that.
She's doing that because you enabled her to do that. You know, on one hand, some people want to be who they were when they were a kid and freewheeling and fun and fearless and all of that. On the other hand, you've got adults who need to undo some of the negative stuff they were told and realize that they can do things because they were told that they can't. Exactly. So you've got both sides. Either way, hard to change.
Yeah. Girls who are told girls don't do math. We're trying to undo some of those things. Right. It's amazing. So yeah, we're spending some of our life maybe having to unlearn a couple of things.
True.
Better. Y'all are just awesome. And this has been so much fun getting a chance to talk like this. What I do want to do for our folks who are in the audience, I really would like them to give us some ideas, and y'all too, of topics you would like to see on future shows. So I ask you to please type something into the chat right now of a topic you'd like to hear. Ladies, I'm going to open it up to you. I am going to tell y'all that next week, we're going to be doing it on depression, on holiday depression, because we know a lot of people are going to be going through some tough times during these next weeks. And we want to offer some ideas and suggestions and ways to kind of help with that tough time. So we will be doing a program on that. I got some great guests coming in that'll be talking about that. Ladies, any ideas of topics y'all would like to hear some shows on?
I love the mental health thing. That could be almost a regular topic and still not get old. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know.
I have some roots in service, and so any type of community service or volunteerism is something that I'm always interested in hearing about.
That would be a really good one. Ooh, we could actually find all kind of volunteer opportunities and present those so people could, find their new purpose, their new calling of something to work with. Oh, I like that.
That's a great idea. A lot of people want to volunteer and they don't know where to begin. Mm-hmm. Great idea.
Okay. Any other thoughts? I want to do some really fun shows too. Got some people who do acting and stuff like that I want to get on, and we could find out how they got into acting, and maybe we could get our breaks into there. I am going to try to get a psychic on here because I just think that's just so cool. Some people who do hypnotism, like for self-hypnosis and stuff like that. So some topics like that. So just stuff I want to learn about. I have so many things I want to find out about, and I figured this is a great opportunity for us to be able to do that with folks.
It is.
Any other thoughts from y'all? Any other thoughts from our audience? They got quiet.
I have a question. It doesn't apply to me, so I don't know if it'd be worthy of I don't know if it'd be helpful or not, but my husband and I talked through all of this COVID stuff. We are fortunate that our kids are grown, so we're not having to try to juggle homeschool and virtual and mix and work full time from home. We're not having to juggle all of that. Those people who are, my hat's off to you. Kaelysia, are you having to do that? You've got to say, I don't know how you do it. I don't know if that kind of topic would be useful, to share tips.
Good point.
Priscilla with that as well.
Okay, all right, Priscilla, and I know one of our guests on here, Kim, is doing that. She's trying to give up her job as a substitute teacher to her son because she doesn't like math. But sorry, I told on you, Kim. But yeah, so. Kim drinks to get through it. Okay, we'll use that for some of the advice, but maybe we'll have some of those folks on here to talk about the things that they're doing to help them, because I can't even imagine how to do that.
No, me neither. Kaelysia, you don't even look like you're drinking excessively to get past it.
I know.
Hats off to you.
I drink more than her. Oh, wait, was I supposed to wait with that? Okay, sorry. Okay.
A lot of prayer, y'all. A lot of prayer.
Okay. That's good.
That's probably better for you.
Yes. Monica's talking about balance, how to juggle and not in the circus. Okay, good. Courtney says you love math. You just don't know it yet. That's the thing. Yes.
You're biased.
Priscilla texts whenever Priscilla's kids have math homework they can't do. She texts me a picture of the problem, and she was all impressed a couple of weeks. Well, I guess it's been about a month now that I knew the answer to one of the problems, and I wrote back and I said, I just Googled it.
Yes.
So is asking your aunt for help.
Oh, I thought of,
Cheli had a thought.
I'm sorry. Stop it.
Yes, I'm picking on you. I love it.
Tina, did I cut you off?
No, you did not.
Okay. Another good topic, just my mother's going through some health issues right now, and I know.
Oops.
Oh, we lost her. But I'm glad she started that when she gets back on. Let's see. Is she coming back in? Because oh, okay, there she is.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that's happening, but I'm blessed to have my parents, but they're getting older, and as a boomer, a lot of parents are getting older, so that might be a good topic too, how to navigate some of that caretaking. And
that's one of the topics that I want to do is caregiving, because that was a big part of my life for many years, and I think that is one that everybody needs help with. And there's also a funny side to it, because I was constantly being bested by my mom. Even when she was heavy duty into Alzheimer's, she could still make me embarrassed easily, and she was great. I mean, she could play tricks on me, anything. So yeah, you also have to look at some of the funny side of things, even though it's really tough. And I would like to do that as a topic. So yeah,
that would be good.
Yeah. Priscilla, did I hear you say that you teach a jazzercise class or something along those lines?
Zumba.
Christy, having Priscilla back to teach everyone some Zumba, I don't know.
I like this.
That out there.
I like this. We could do a Zumba class. That'd be fun on here. And Cheli was talking about at one time doing exercise videos for people who are not regular exercisers. And I thought that was such a cool idea too.
Probably something else to get them into the room.
Priscilla will do like all Meghan Trainor or all Justin Bieber. Not Zumba technically, but she'll do fitness classes with all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, look, you already got Sarah who's ready to go.
Look at this. Oh, good. Okay. Wow. Okay, we got a couple of shows lined up here. All right, y'all. You have been absolutely fabulous today. Thank you for helping me get started in this new thing.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Y'all
it's great meeting everybody. This is so cool.
Awesome. You too.
Yes. And we'll play with different formats and stuff like that. So y'all come back and play with us some more. And we'll just keep sharing all kind of information and hopefully inspire some people to say that they want to come be on here with us. Because any of you guests who have something that you're passionate about, hey, we're game. We want to hear about it, because I think that's what it's all about, is what you're passionate about.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Thanks, Christy.
Thank y'all so much for being here with me today. And please come back and play with me again. It's Wednesdays at 6, and I'll see y'all next week, okay?
Bye, ladies.
See y'all. Bye to our guest.
Bye.